your status on Facebook. Live now on YouTube. Join us. Cafecito Time on YouTube. Join us. You know you can change your status.
Yeah, I know, but
It doesn't matter because not everybody has the million people that
no,
are.
I'm just saying like if you say YouTube on Facebook, they might not uh,
Okay.
let you be seen. And then I don't know if I should grab this audio on GarageBand or just grab the audio from StreamYard.
That's a chingo question.
That's an internet question. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll give y'all a minute. Let's see, we're having trouble. Okay, it's not going to Rockfin. Okay, anymore. Let's see if we can get a couple people. We're strictly on YouTube today. Strictly on YouTube. Let's give y'all a minute to gather around. First comment. What's up, James? James Salazar. This is Cafecito Time. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
It's
bro.
Friday. Let me take a sip of my coffee so I can get my mind right because for whatever reason,
Inhale the
good stuff.
exhale.
The bull stuff. It's Friday, y'all. I feel like I'm going into today. I feel like I'm going into today pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good, like, mentally and all that. Because yesterday was like a family hangout park day.
Y'all, so I don't know about you guys, but I saw this reel, babe, that it says on an average at a day, you only spend about 45 minutes with your kid. Because most of the time your kid during the day is at school, right? Then you pick them up. They may or may not have an activity. So now that's no time with your child, right? Now they go to the activity. Now you're coming home and all you're doing is cooking dinner, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting them ready for the bath, then they're getting ready to to go to bed, and then you bounce. So it's a total when you accumulate just a little bit of time in between.
Car rides.
Yeah, it ends up being they said about actually it was 35 minutes. I'm sorry.
You're just getting them in and out of car seats.
Yeah.
Trying to feed them.
Yeah.
You trying to cook.
So about 35 minutes they said is what you're spending with your child. So there is no undivided attention at least Monday through Friday, right? Because most parents, or I don't say most, but a lot of people don't work on the weekends. Then you have the weekends, but then sometimes it's like, well, I need a break from parenting, so I have plans tonight.
You're like, I'm trying to go to jiu-jitsu.
So now,
or hey, God forbid you get a date night in.
And now your kids get no attention again.
God forbid in this economy you got to do a marketplace pop-up. Or you signing tequila bottles somewhere. Details coming soon, June 10th. Hey, I hope we're not... I think everything's going smooth with that. It's not going to be like a false alarm, like it's happening.
That I know of, yes.
Okay.
So, but today I was supposed to find out, but it's too early to text right now.
So
I'm not I'm not texting this.
It's always like too late or too early. But hey, guess what? Check this out. We're always going to be going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Cafecito Time, right here on YouTube. And then what we're going to start doing, we're going to test this out. We're going to take this video and replay it on Facebook later. So if you want to catch it live while it's happening, have your notifications on YouTube. House of Blues show, what's today, June 2nd? We're like officially, what, two weeks away. Like it's showtime. It is game time. We have 14 days. I mean, Bandul said they're going to have to roll my fat behind on stage. Guess what? They invited me to go play volleyball at
Who is they?
The homies from jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? Homies that's ranked, you know what I'm saying? Ranked like 6 in the world in their weight class. Big dogs, you know what I'm saying? Purple belts and up.
Okay.
They were like, hey man, we're going to get some exercise in. I think they said like volleyball or something at the park. And they're like, we're going to go there first before open mat. And I'm like, the way my evenings is set up, I'm not going to be able to make it to both. Meaning, I'm going to be watching Cops late at night with my wife on Fox Nation app because we ain't deleted it yet after they fired Tucker. And
we have not deleted it yet.
But I will say this. Cops as a show is worth staying up late. That I never appreciated Cops the TV show. All right, here go. This might be my main big take of the day. It is such a perfect, beautiful show. It has everything. It has humanity. It has reality. There's a little bit of love because when the homie getting arrested, he's like, "Hey, dog, can I kiss my chick, bro? Can I tell you? Can I?" And then the cops are like, "Go ahead, Rodrigo. Go ahead." And then he hand her some little meth and be like, "Don't snitch on me."
You got all the good part.
Chingatelo. Um, that's so. I don't know. Maybe I was under the influence while watching the show, but I was like, "This is a really good show." And as a kid growing up, I guess like in the '90s, it was super popping, and it would always be on TV. Like I'm guessing like early evening or something.
I remember I used to watch. I must have been watching reruns because I would watch it in the at night, like almost 11 o'clock at night.
Cops was on all the time, and there is a, dare I say, conspiracy theory. There's a conspiracy theory that states that, and it's probably not true because there's different business reasons why shows go off the air. Because it's all business, right? It's all money. But some people say, wow, it sure is convenient that this TV show that showed the human side of cops and how they dealt with situations and what kind of calls they get. So this is the format of the show, right? It'll be like, hey, my name is Rosa Hernandez. I've been on the force for 6 years. I grew up here in Riverside County. And then it's like, oh, we got a call about a kidnapping. Now they turn it. So it's like, this is a real human person from the community, and they're about to go deal with a real type of situation where they pulling up. It's dark outside. You got your high beams on the people, and you're trying to approach to see who the heck got kidnapped, right? So then, now they're having to figure out what's going on. They're trying to get everybody's story straight. At the end of the day, they tell the little boyfriend, who I forget how old he was, but like they found a pistol in the van. It's my mama's van. This my girlfriend. Oh, well, guess what, bro? She's a runaway. She's under 17. She's 17. Now you aiding and abetting somebody who is like,
a runaway,
who's missing.
Yeah.
And like hit him with like 2-3 charges, and it's like, bro, you're a youngster. Now you got to go get lawyers and all this. And now the chick's crying. Wait, can I talk to him? Can I tell him bye? And it's like, ándale cabrona por andar de mendiga. So then the way the whole show resolves is the cop gets to give their 2 cents where they're like, hey man, you got to get your life together. You got to think about that better. Maybe think about who you hang with.
Yeah.
And then as the siren logo comes up, they're just like, hopefully they can, everything gets worked out.
Well, I think right now they're having a shortage of police officers, period. Like, there's not enough people wanting to, as it is, you would always see it on the back of their SUV,
Always hiring.
Apply, blah, 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 but I think the problem is that they made, I'm not saying there aren't bad cops. There's bad everything. There's bad teachers. There's bad employees. There's bad everything in every department that you can think of. There's bad doctors. You know what I'm saying? So this whole bad cop situation, I'm not saying there aren't any, but I think there's more good than there are bad.
Yeah.
Could there be improvement in the department? Absolutely, like 100%. But I think for the most part, just think about this. You just chose a job that you jump in a car to go patrol all the time, and you're not sure if you're going to make it home that night. I'm not sure what type of person that is. Like, you have to have loved it or wanted to have become a cop somewhere in there. Either you saw a show when you were a little kid,
oh man,
or you know what I'm saying, your father or your uncle or somebody influenced you into this. I mean, it's like, you remember, dude, don't you? Like,
I'm about to give you the perfect story. My next door neighbor growing up, we were like 5 days apart. He was already, like, I think in medical school, scheduled to be a doctor, but since we were little, and every time we played like cops and robbers, I was the robber. He always wanted to be the cop. So I was just robber by default, because he was like, he just loved, like, we're little bitty, and he's already like knowing how to like act like a cop. And he said, you know what, I can't do this medical school stuff. Dropped out. His whole family's like, bro, what are you doing? He's like, bro, I want to be HPD. And they're like, they don't get paid a lot. You got to work at night. You know what I mean? You need side jobs. You know, obviously he's super smart. So he like excelled in that. He's like way up super sergeant and happy, you know, loves his job. And like what Marisol was describing, it's such a difficult job to where you can't pick and choose. You can't be like, I'm only gonna work in these areas in the daytime with backup. You know what I mean? I don't want to be around crazy people. I don't want
Yeah.
nobody bleeding on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that I could do being a police officer or the military. Those were the two departments I could never.
Yeah, anything where I might get shot at.
Yeah, same. I mean, I'm not, no offense, so but I'm not going to risk my life for anybody. As it is, you're already walking around risking your life. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to do it for anybody else.
Period. Last night we heard a couple of gunshots. And,
oh my gosh.
Marisol like, put your drawers on. I'm like,
I'm like, why do you always have to sleep with no clothes on, bro? You
hey man, don't put that information. It's not all the time.
You gotta be prepared.
Hey, sometimes we watching cops and cops turn into something else. Next thing you know, you're hearing gunshots. But you
gotta
know,
stay ready.
You know, I had my baby Glock nearby, you know what I'm talking about, within striking distance. And I'm over there peeping out windows and stuff. But Cops is an excellent show. I appreciate that show. But you know, what else were we talking about? We were talking about New York, Mayor Adams. That's like on some current events.
You were saying something about they were complaining about too many people over there.
That 50% of their hotel rooms, look at Juan Salazar, he said it's go time, baby. TTG, train to go. I think the mayor of New York is complaining. He wants reinforcements. All of a sudden, they don't want to be sanctuary city. And 50% of their hotel rooms are occupied by homeless foreigners.
Okay, I have a question for you, and you may or may not know the answer to it. Okay. So when this many migrants come in, right? Mm-hmm. Like this many at this magnitude, right? Mm-hmm. For one, they can't keep track of them, right? Because there's no way of counting them all, right?
You got gotaways, which are the ones they can't keep track of.
Okay.
And then you got the 85,000 kids they lost.
But the ones that waited, those are like counted for?
The ones that have a cell phone and a debit card and
then the hotels?
And a hotel and a court date like 10 years from now, man. Okay. Just come back. Yeah, those.
So those are accounted for. Like, so they've said, Saul, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Hernandez, vete para Chicago.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So now, how long are they housed? Or do we not know that?
Well, a lot of times they don't want to move. They don't want to leave. Like a bunch of Venezuelans in that hotel by Times Square. Because Sav Hernandez, she interviewed a whistleblower from the hotel. That's like, yo, they're tearing up this hotel. These are $500 a night rooms. And it's totally full. If you're a New Yorker or you're a tourist, you can't check out a room. They done turned it into...
Okay, but let's see. How much did the city pay them? For them to
somebody getting money.
Exactly. For them to have been willing to open the doors to all these people.
It turned into a racket. So whoever owns that... Exactly. It's projects now. Like, whoever owns them hotels is going to get guaranteed paid by the government.
Like, how much was that guarantee paid to where it's worth you losing $500 a night is my question.
You paying for it. So basically, they're a bunch of them. They say like 3 babies a day are born in there. Like a bunch of them pregnant. They mess around in the staircase. They drunk. They're fighting. It's like a little ghetto.
Listen, I feel a certain kind of way about all this. Just because I feel like if you've been here for 5 years and you're illegal, right? And you can show that you've been paying taxes, because I know plenty of people that pay taxes and they use an EIN number because they'll register their themselves as a business because they're smart. When it comes time to be able to apply for some sort of visa or something, this shows you've been a good citizen because you've been paying your taxes. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. So I feel like if you've been paying your taxes the way we do, right? Mm-hmm. and you've been doing your part in trying to hopefully this is you're doing this in hopes that one day there's going to be something that will be passed or something that you can apply for, right? And I'm not saying every person that's living here is doing that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But can we figure out something? I'm not saying you become a citizen, but maybe you are given a green card because you can show that you've been holding down your household, right? You're and you haven't been in trouble, like you haven't been in jail. You've been paying your taxes. You've been a good member of society.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this though. Here's my take on it, just based on zooming out a little bit more. Is in a perfect world, yes, I hear everything you're saying. Unfortunately, these policies, the way these people set it up, to where it's like all the legal loopholes, and then you have all the NGOs and like the immigration lawyers that are down there volunteering for the NGOs, to where basically the fact that it's set up in a way to where basically Biden's policies are messing it up for those people you just described. The honest ones that want to contribute and figure out how they could get in and fit in. So now they done made it so bad to where it's kind of like, yo, we need a pause. Like some economists would argue that like you can't have a super open, non-secure border where the Migra and ICE, they're just like, welcome.
Sure,
welcome.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense.
It messes it up for people like what you just described. And see, somebody here commented, ¿cómo se llama? Gallo Tobias said, illegals should not be rewarded for breaking the law.
No. You're right. I don't disagree with like all the legal part of it. Like you still came here illegally, right? But you know, for those of us who have parents who were products of Reagan, right? Because amnesty came in, right?
Yeah.
I feel like those who should qualify for amnesty, if there were one to come in, is like you have to show that you were here, right? Like you have to show that you were doing something, like you didn't get in trouble, you didn't, you know what I'm saying? All these things that I feel like the DACA recipients, you know what I'm saying? Like those people, like
Trump tried to work a deal to help DACA.
Oh, I know, and
Kamala Harris,
what's her name,
voted
like,
no.
Yeah,
they didn't want to let him get credit. He was like, "I'll give you the DACA." He's like, "But you got to give me some budget so I can build this wall." Yeah. And they're like, "Hell no, you racist."
She did it twice.
Yeah, so now we just got a debacle, and as y'all can see back there, I got that poster. They can't deport us all, which was like a statement with me trying to like ruffle feathers and be polarizing, and not really trying to take into account today's current, like what I know now of how things are happening now. It's kind of like
well, I think you understand it now. I think you understand it way better.
Yeah, I actually am mature enough to face the arguments of like, hey, bro, how sustainable is this? Like, how many people can we take in? And guess what? The folks in Southside Chicago, or one of those neighborhoods in Chicago, they're having all these like city council type meetings where people from that community, you see a variety of folks, right? But mainly you see like a lot of black folk that are like, hey, we're from Chicago. We've been here for generations. We pay taxes. We have a lot of issues we need addressed here. And all of a sudden you're going to drop off 500 folks from some other country with a different culture. We don't know.
Well, I have a problem with the inner city, period. That's a whole other podcast.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, because I can go on and on and on about in our city, Sheila Lee Jackson or whatever her name is.
Sheila Jackson Lee.
Okay. Whatever her name is, I don't even know her name. Can't nobody tell me.
Can't nobody
tell me what this lady has done in our city.
Well,
and she is a long life politician. She's lifelong.
What is she? Congress?
I don't even know what she is. I don't know what she is. Right. But they want to talk about this and that and this and that.
I seen her at CBS one time.
Let's get started with just the inner city where we need the help. There should be no reason why in this one area there can be a whole section of gentrification happening where it's like even the sidewalks are better there in front of the high rises. But then you go one street over, and because it's not a high rise, you've got potholes and you'll see needles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Make sense to me.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. America has so much money that I've told this story before, I think like on another episode, on another show. But I was watching one of those YouTube where you can't tell if it's stock footage. It's like relaxing piano music, and it's like beautiful countryside, like greenery. I don't know what, it might have been Scotland or some other country. Sweden, Denmark, Norway. And it's just like clean little river and like a village and like, some guy making shoes, whatever. And it's like, damn, that looks healthy, stress-free, productive, positive, clean, and safe. And it's like, why can't all of America look like that? Considering that we the ones sending all our money everywhere else. Like right now, we're paying for Ukraine's government so that they can have their pension, so that they have money for all their stuff. Like, we're paying all their nurses. We're securing their border. There's literally, because y'all know we send money over there every 2 weeks, every month. Like, facts, on schedule. Like, billions of dollars. They trying to tax us to death. It's a whole bunch of corruption going on. Meanwhile, our cities look like a lot major sections of major cities. Now, I'm not saying every single part of Philadelphia is jacked up. I'm not saying every single part of Chicago. No, not even every part of Houston. Houston got a whole bunch of like Beverly Hills type stuff as well. But you just see like a lot of filth in America. Just especially, no offense, if we got anybody watching from California, it's almost like in California, there is no town where you don't see at least some homeless by the freeway. Like, it's not just, oh, no, that's just San Francisco, and that's just way down there in L.A.
Houston's the same way right now, too.
I know, but I'm talking about their entire state.
Well, I know L.A. is kind of nasty.
I'm talking about their whole state.
But, I mean, you go down 59, and I told you, we saw a whole person with a kitchen underneath the freeway. I said, does that guy have a kitchen?
A whole kitchen?
A whole kitchen? Where and how did you manage to put a whole kitchen underneath the freeway?
A ver, mira, pobrecito el Brandon. Did you see he tripped over a sandbag on stage?
Oh, that's what it was.
It was a black sandbag, but it's not a good look. I want to get your take, but how many times has he fallen in public, making America look weak?
Well, I already told you how I feel about that. Like, I mean, as much as I dislike this man for all that he's done to our country, I feel really bad. It's like tu abuelito,
like,
como que tu abuelito se cayó, and they're still making abuelito work, even though he's not competent, even though he's not.
Weekend at Bernie's. They just got to sign him.
He's just not doing. He doesn't. I don't even think he knows what's going on.
I think he's working hard to destroy America.
Like,
they gutting it out. They trying to repurpose it for where they're in charge.
But I'm going to say this again. I've said it a gazillion times on my podcast, right? If the people understood how much we are in control, right? Because they don't have a job if we don't go along with it, right? If more people just kind of sat back y no les dejaran que le lavara el coco,
pero ya,
right?
Todo, según 80, how many votes they said he got? 81 million? More than Obama?
I already told you, I cannot live here if this man wins again. Cannot.
He's going to be about 100.
I don't know where I'm going to go. I have yet to decide, but there's no way I can raise my children here in this debacle, in this craziness every day. Y'all, why do I pay taxes to HISD, but I can't even send my child to a school in HISD? Make that make sense for me, just for a hot second. Just for a hot second. Make that make sense to me. Why am I stressing out about where my child's going to school? And why do I have to pay for a private school when my taxes is way more than what a private school would cost?
Guess what was trending on Twitter for, I guess, Houston area? HISD was trending because you know how Greg Abbott put in a new superintendent or something? Well, they got him on a gotcha. Like either they caught him on tape or some type of text messages where he was saying something about like, I'd rather have some higher paid teachers than some of these librarians. Something. And of course, Rodney Ellis, right? uh, corrupt local. Basically the Democrats took it upon themselves to be like, oh, look at these MAGA Greg Abbott white.
I think we froze.
Okay, sorry if we froze. I'm gonna start plugging the internet in direct, but I forgot to bring the cable from the other office. It's there. So they turned it into like a thing where it's like, you see, this is a pro charter school district guy who's against the this and the that, and this is gonna hurt folks.
They already have shut down so many HISD schools. What are they talking about? Because they can't even like get it together. Half of them have mold.
Half of them can't read.
Half of them can't read. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no reason why a child. Okay, why are you in a bilingual class, but you ain't learning no English? And I got firsthand evidence sitting in my other room over there. My daughter's friend. Okay? That's all I gotta say. How you in a bilingual program, but you get and then right now she was asking me how to say something in English, and I tell her, and then she says, and then Luisa says, she's like, oh no, she goes, oh, she only gets English one time a week. She goes, no, I don't get that anymore.
So they done took away all the English.
Bro, don't get me started with this whole school system. Do not.
So my point is this: they made that man trend because he's old and white, and because Greg Abbott put him in there, right? And because he's going against the teachers' unions. Yeah. That's really what it's about.
Yeah.
So they're trying to paint the same old, tired narrative that I fell for many years, where everything's about race, and victim. They made this man trend, but at the end of the day, all parents got to do is this: okay. Is he trying to groom the kids? Is he trying to cram a drag queen in every class? Is he putting them weird books in the library? No? Okay, cool. Then I ain't got no problem with it.
I almost wanted to just send my child to the school, a public school, so that I can be the outspoken parent at that school for any garbage that's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, show up there. Like, why are y'all doing this? This don't make no sense. And now I'm going to go to every Thursday meeting that y'all having every first Thursday of the month. You know what I'm saying? To let y'all know, like, Jackie with HTX Kids, shout out to her because she fights constantly every day. And she takes some beatings from people all over because she will call you out in a hot second. She's not playing.
Because our kids' education is very important.
Right. And so, and she ain't even got a child in HIZ. She's got her child in private school, right? So you have this parent here who's fighting for other kids, so that they can have a better type of educational system. You know what I'm saying? But she's done some work, I'll tell you that. She's made some changes happen. She's gotten some books out of the library.
She's brought some attention, brought some heat.
Attention, and people are not prepared for that, and that's the problem that we have.
Correct. Real quick, tour dates. Hit up the website, chingobling.com. We got a whole bunch of cities we're going to. The next stops, of course, 2 weeks away, H-Town, House of Blues. We got to get a ticket count so we can let y'all know what's sold out and what seats are left. Maybe it might be just the up tops. Well, a lot of the up tops mainly what was selling. Oklahoma City after that, July 6th. Chicago, we come to Chi-Town, July 16th. Arlington, Texas Improv at the end of July. A whole bunch of more dates in August, September, October. Just hit up the website, chingobling.com. Here's a compliment. Miranda Martinez says, your vlog of Penny's graduation was too cute. Congrats and blessings to her as she enters into grade school.
Thank you.
Which we got to figure that out.
That's what I'm still trying to figure out.
We might do homeschool and things like that.
Homeschool is probably number one right now. It's going to be.
Where is Chambers County? Somebody said move to Chambers County. I don't even know where that is. Okay. Yeah, we dropped a new song too. Make sure y'all check it out on all platforms: Spotify, Apple, and more to come. What other topics, Holly? Before I got to go to open mat. I ain't gonna lie. I woke up kind of tired and I was just like, do I really gotta go?
Look at you saw that comment?
Which one?
This one.
Oh yeah. Shout out. Yeah, he's shouting out Mexican OT. That's the homie. Yeah, this person right here is wanting to leave a positive.
No.
Which one?
Chingo used to be dope.
Yeah, Chingo used to be dope. This person right here is basically trying to hate, but we'll put some spotlight on you. But that's cool. You can have your own opinion. You read it, Marisol.
Chingo used to be dope, I guess. I was jamming Mas Maiz earlier. Now we have Mexican OT. I guess this is the broad that took his career downhill. Sad. You're sad.
Well, he thinks he's a mind reader. He for one, he's assuming I fell off. Number one, because when was I ever doing the main room at House of Blues back whenever you liked me? Like when Mas Maiz, I was just a feature. I don't even own that entire song. So you know what I'm saying? You can have your own opinion. And then he's trying to be a mind reader. He wants attention, I'm assuming, right? And he's trying to throw you into the mix, saying like he's putting together this thing in his head where it's like Chingo somehow is not as good as he used to be, and it's Mighty Soul's fault. Hey, I don't know how you define success. Look, now he's mad about the viewers. You over here counting how many viewers I got, sir.
You're the one that's on too.
This show ain't even.
So thank you for watching. 26
like,
viewers.
Sometimes
Good.
people
get off then if you gonna be talking shit. I mean, get off, bro.
Yeah, he's still on here
and
commenting.
You on here at 9:15 in the morning.
Yeah, on my page. But look, let me just answer him real quick. We're not tripping over the amount of viewers because this same audio is going to go on Spotify and Apple, and it's going to get ads, and it's going to reach a lot of people. That's number one. So this is a whole new channel. This ain't even my old YouTube channel. We're trying to build up this show on YouTube. It takes time. You got to be consistent. Like, it's not about you just go live on a new channel and all of a sudden the algorithm's going to let you have 300 people in here. You got to build it up. I'm not entitled. I understand you don't just say, I'm Chingo Bling. I'm going live. I need 500 people watching me right now as they have their coffee. His next comment is, they can't deport us all, huh? How about this? Just deport the bad ones. Can we at least agree that if there's a pervert, there's somebody out there trying to break the law and bring in fentanyl, like, can we at least deport them? Or you just ain't got no brain cells? We probably need a, what do you call that?
Moderator.
Yeah, we need a moderator. But it's all good. We're just trying to check in with our people, man. 2 weeks from now, House of Blues. Shout out to the sponsors, Mary's Creek Cattle Company. Where can they get some of that Her Apparel merch?
HerApparelTX.com. Go get
Here,
some.
let me.
I will be at the store today, guys. If anybody is in the Rice Village area, so come by, say hi. You ain't gotta buy nothing. You just can come by and say hi if you're in the area.
Here, let me keep talking, boo, while I do this.
Yeah, just come by. I'll be there today and tomorrow. I'm excited.
There it is.
Ooh, pink.
I could change that too.
It's all good. No.
Hey, Marisol acting like this her channel. She like, why that ain't in pink right now? That ain't the right shade of pink.
Purple.
Yeah, I'm trying, boo.
That'll work right there. That'll work right there.
Damn, I don't know who I might ask more of these comments. I liked you when you was featured on a song by Nori, who don't even do reggaeton no more. I mean, you could literally just if you want to look at the world as just negative, and you just trying to figure out how you could hate. Like, imagine if I'm like, Jamie Foxx, you ain't put out a good movie. When's the last movie, Jamie Foxx? Like, if Jamie Foxx went live. And I'm like, I liked you better when you was on In Living Color.
The funny thing is that people log on just to do that. It's
like, I liked you better when you was on In Living Color, Jamie Foxx.
If I don't like somebody, I just don't follow them. I don't subscribe to their channel, and I don't go on their live if I don't want to watch them. It's the funniest
You know what
thing.
it is? You know, a big part of it is politics. That's what it is. Is people don't want to say, hey, man, I disagree with you on this subject. Can you explain this part? Or how do you feel about this specific thing? Like for example, if I don't like... Medio lavadito. So, like, if I don't like George Lopez politics, I'm not going to go log on while he's live. Hey, what's up? Why you not saying nothing about the 85,000 kids that got lost?
Imagine.
I ain't got time for that.
Who has time for that? Obviously, that boy Lou. Or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, he probably don't got a lot going on.
Obviously.
He probably don't got a lot.
Obviously.
He's like, you got to put that on the remix. Deport the bad ones. Yeah. Like I said, I was young when I made that statement. You know, it wasn't It was just something to like get under people's skin, piss people off, make people talk, and be polarizing. It wasn't like an actual well thought out thing like, all right, here's my dissertation. As you can see on page 26, this is how I address what we're going to do about this part or these people. If a person enters the country this way, then what do we do? It was just basically saying, hey, I don't like how these right-wing TV, like Fox News, I feel like, right, porque a mí me tenían indoctrinated. I feel like y'all picking on us and y'all trying to put us all in this bad bunch bucket. So I'm going to make this statement to piss y'all off. But if anybody ever really did say, hey, man, let me pull you aside. And do you understand what like national security is? You know what I'm saying? Do you understand? Like, let's talk about economics for a minute. Let me explain some of the economic things. You know, I was just a young rapper or whatever talking shit.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I going to tell you? That's like whenever, the same way you have the haters coming to say all this stuff, right? Whenever we would go to shows, there was new people. Do you remember that? And
new fans?
New fans coming out, and they said, I stopped being a fan when you had your whole "they can't deport us all" campaign. I just couldn't vibe with you anymore. And now that you've opened up your eyes, someone sent it to me. I'm the one that hears it all because I'm at the merch booth, guys.
Yeah,
so
I didn't know I was alienating so many people with that.
So they would come up to me. They're like, "Man, what made him open up his eyes? What made he's like, I couldn't vibe with him anymore after blah 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 blah." And I was like,
I didn't know I was shooting. I didn't even know I was shooting myself in the foot with that. I guess I was so indoctrinated that I thought, like, in a way, it's almost like pandering. It's like all the Latinos can get behind this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how can I lose? Everyone agrees. And it's like, actually, nah, bro. A lot of people look at it like, somebody told me, dude, when you came out with that statement, like this one homie, he's a member of the Tia. He said, your parents and my parents are from the same town. He's like, I'm supposed to be rooting for you. He's like, I wanted to root for you. He's like, but you put out that statement. And let's see, Lou, not everybody agrees with you. He says, you put out that statement. He says, I looked at it as anti-American. And I'm like, oh, damn, I wasn't trying to be anti-American. And he's like, that's how I took it.
Well, that was like me. I wanted to be an immigration lawyer so that I could help all the immigrants just stay here, right?
Because you had a big heart.
Because that's me always trying to help everybody. And then I remember what I never understood because my parents were super duper conservative, and it has to do with I don't know why they're super duper conservative because they are Mexican. I don't know, super religious.
Yeah.
And they were also a product, like I said, of Reagan. So they already felt a certain kind of way, and my mom and I could never talk about politics because we would argue. I'm like, how are you an immigrant? And how did you come here? And then, now you want to say they should be deported, that they shouldn't be here. How does that make sense? She's like, because I didn't come here that way. And I'd be like, it doesn't matter. We could never
you're from Mexico.
Yeah, you're from Mexico. You're supposed to be rooting for this. She's like, no, I'm not. She goes, who puts their child in that much of a risk to come over here?
Especially right now that the cartels control that whole situation, and you got other countries blending in. You got terrorists blending in. You trust me, I was triggered when Trompitas first said, like, they're opening up their prisons. And
you wrote a whole letter.
Yeah, no, I was all triggered. Dear Donald Trump, you're a vendido. Marisol, you wrote a whole letter. Yeah. Again, kind of pandering, right? Like, I'm going to get a pat on the back when people read this letter. Look at all my good grammar. Look at all these commas. But when he first said, they're opening up their prisons in Central America, and America's becoming a dumping ground for the world's problems, and they're coming from shithole countries. And I'll be like, hey, man, you sounding like you don't like certain people, and this is America, and you got the Statue of Liberty, and it says, send me you're tired and you're hungry, and we should have enough tax money to take care of everybody. And then now you like, bro, they really are opening up their prisons saying, y'all know where to go. Like, they're mental institutions. They're like, hey, todos los locos, pa'l norte. And they hop on the top of that train, and then they tear up Mexico in the process. And all the Mexicans are like, hey, man, why we got 15,000 Haitians in Reynosa? And then people in Juarez are like, bro, why we got 22,000 Venezuelans over here. You know what I mean? People in Tijuana are like, hey man, ustedes están cagando el palo. And when they give them tortillas and beans, they're like, nah, we don't want that shit, bro. Mm-hmm. We need our chicken. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, hey bro. So ask a Mexican how they feel about this whole situation. But it's okay. The homie Matt Dog, member of the TIA, the Tamal Intelligence Agency, haters gonna hate. He said he probably eating Hot Pockets in his mama basement.
You know what I'm saying?
Get your merch, chingothemerch.com. Join the community, patreon.com. So you're headed to the Hive?
I'm headed to the Hive today. I got to work.
That's right. Her apparel. Shout out to the sponsors. Next tour date, Houston. Y luego ya, se acabó el show. What you think? I mean, we've been on 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah, right now. I thought, well, wait a second.
We got a super chat. We definitely want to get this live popping. Not so much so that the haters could count how many people are watching at one time.
Oh, bro, that fucking picture. Ooh, I didn't mean to cuss like that. That picture is dope.
Oh, yeah. Now I just realized what that is. Other shade of brown with the super chat. Thanks for the love.
Tie is the Oilers. Then
it's Marvin Zindler.
Wow, that's really dope. The Astrodome.
I used to deal with Marvin Zindler's son.
Oh yeah.
Because he ran Soundwaves. Other shade of brown. His super chat comment is, why is it hard for Hispanics to celebrate each other? Ooh. Sometimes I guess. Some people just not happy. Some people just have a different system, a different way of going through life. Maybe they'll evolve out of it and they'll look back and be like, damn, bro, why was I like that? I was just having a bad day. So, I don't know. What do you think, Marisol?
I think a lot of people have the problem of feeling envious when they see someone. Like, for example, why are we so quick? And I don't do this anymore, right? But I'm guilty of like going to maybe like a pop-up, right? Mm-hmm. And being like, why are they selling this for so much, right? Mm-hmm. But what no one understands is that the smaller businesses have to pay so much more than the bigger businesses because we're not buying in such large quantities to volume. Where we're right. So we're not buying in volume the way they are, and they're getting it maybe for 50 cents, and a small business is probably having to pay the $2 for it because you're not ordering 50,000 of something. You know what I'm saying? So I've always done pop-ups. I used to do pop-ups even before I met Chingo, and I used to do more of like upholstery and crafts, and I used to like reupholster old antique stuff and remake it, and I used to sell them at these pop-ups. And a lot of people just always want to just kind of like, what is that word? Like kind of like
barter?
Yeah, you know, they're just haggle. Like haggle with you. Like you're like, wait a minute, like you don't understand. Like I had to like be very careful with some of these knobs because they're antique. It's from 19 something. Anyway, long story short, I think the problem is that no one sits back and really like kind of analyzes that person's job. You know what I'm saying? Hay unos que se pasan, I get it. I'm not going to say that everybody that has a small business no se pasan, but you know what I'm saying? And also 100% I agree with my husband that I think a lot of times people are such miserable little souls to where they're not happy with either what they're doing, they're unhappy with their life, to where you just got to look at somebody and just be like, whatever, they got that same shit at da-da-da, or you know what I'm saying? He did all that. I don't think he did all that, you know. So I really don't know why we do that. Like it just doesn't make sense.
I think it's not limited so much to Hispanics. Like I think a lot of times people in general can be that way, but probably more so when you get into like identity, like for example, some people don't have the burden of going through life as a white person, you know, oh, look at this white vendor trying to charge me more. It's with la raza, it's like, no me pinche vieja, ta pendeja, las pupusas la está dando. Yeah. And it's like, no me pinche vieja. And it's like that identity part, like hey, look, it's skin. Look, what did I say? Why are you charging so much? It's like, because you don't understand economics and you don't understand that this furniture that I'm selling, I got to pay rent on the inventory for the storage. I have an employee. I got to pay the light bill at the office. I got to take the whole day off to come bring these furniture items over here to y'all, in the rain.
Yeah.
And I got to pay a babysitter. It's like, you not factoring in economics. I actually had to pay rent to be here in this tent on this Saturday selling these antiques. Hypothetically. Shout out to Modern Builders. What's up, Big Dom? I believe they're coming to the show in Houston, but they're way out there in Indiana. Avisa carnal, because I got to measure that wall because they're going to give me a quote on the accent. We did a collab for TikTok. A ver, mi cash app. Sí, carnal. ¿Dónde pongo el pinche cash app? It is $. Let me see if I can post it. $, Chingo Bling 23. A ver si salió. Bow! There it is. Man, let me pin my comment. How about that? How about that? Okay, what time is it? Because
yeah, it's time for me to go get ready.
Oh yeah, we all got to start getting ready. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All of you guys, we appreciate it. Like I said, we're gonna start trying to just do it live, strictly on YouTube, and we'll see how that goes for a while. And then I'll repost this on Facebook later, so as just a video. So boom, it'll be like a video post. And of course, if you listen to podcasts, consider tuning in and subscribing to our podcast, Her Lounge podcast. Also have What Did He Said podcast, Red Pill Tamales podcast, and Cafecito Time podcast. We'll see you guys in Houston in 2 weeks. ¿Qué más?
That's it.
And shout out to our sponsors. I los guacho, cucaracho, taze. Bye, se cuidan.